Hello everyone!
Welcome back to the Obituary Stories. So today we're going to be doing something exciting.
Oh really? What is it?
Have you heard of the Holland Code?
No, what is that? Tell me more.
Okay, the Holland Code is a system of classifying people and jobs into 6 personality types. Or it's also known as RISAC. So R stands for realistic, A stands for artistic, and then we've got investigative, I, and then we've got social for S, E for enterprising, and C for conventional. So essentially we are classified into 6 personality types. So that's why it's called RISAC or Holland Code. So it's developed by psychologist John Holland.
Okay.
It's a tool for career assessment and can help individuals find careers that align with their interests and strengths. So the first time I knew about this Holland Code was when I had to do it as a secondary school student. And also recently, I actually went through a class on career readiness with my students and they were quite excited to find out more about the Holland Code. So I thought that you might have known about it.
Actually, I'm quite curious to know what my code is.
Yeah.
Are you?
Why don't you try doing it? It's on SkillsFuture.
Really? Okay, let's do it now. Quick, let's log in. Want to know my results?
What is it?
Guess what? My top 3, they were enterprising, investigative, and social.
So what does enterprising mean here?
Well, it means that I love to lead people, persuade people, and sell and influence. Do I look like an influencer to you?
You don't have to be an influencer to influence people. You can be influencing other people in ordinary ways, right? By talking to people, your students, by convincing and persuading them to do something that is difficult, but eventually they might want to do because they know that difficult things will lead them to growth.
Wow, I can convince people at any point in time.
Did I just
that is a
convince
skill.
you too?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, so how about investigative? How much of an investigative person are you? And how do you know that?
I think I'm quite curious to know about things. Curiosity is actually one of my strengths. So I've discovered that a few years ago. And I was actually curious to know about many things. So I went to the NASA. Have you heard of NASA? In Houston. And I was curious to see what the museum looked like. So I went in. That definitely resonates with me.
Yeah, so you are definitely a thinker as well, and you need facts and data to convince you, outthink, to make certain decisions, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think for me, you mentioned that you were enterprising, investigative, and social, right? For me, mine is artistic, social, and enterprising. So ASE.
Oh, we overlap on social. Shall we talk about that?
Not only social, but
and enterprising
as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me more about social. What do you mean by that?
I guess most of us teachers probably have social, right, as our personality type because we like to help other people and we like to work with people. So I think the moment you like to interact with people and work with people, you are very high on social. But the funny thing is, social doesn't mean that you need to be an extrovert. You can be an introverted person and still be social. So I just hope that people don't misunderstand the bit on social. Like we are all social creatures, but not all of us are extroverted. Yeah. As for enterprising, do you think I can influence and persuade and lead people based on what you notice about me?
Well, based on what you're doing right now, isn't that persuading and influencing your audience to follow you?
I hope I'm doing it, but I think I won't know it until people tell me that I can be quite enterprising. Because it took me a while to understand how is it that I'm enterprising, how is it that I'm persuasive. But I also realized that it could also be because of the skills that I've developed over the years, that when I speak to students, when I interact with them, I need to persuade, encourage them to do certain things right. And maybe that was how I have to develop the kind of skills to get people to do certain things, especially when it's good for them. Yeah.
Actually, if it's something good, I don't think people need to be persuaded. People know how to choose. You just need to educate them.
Yeah, but they still need to know that there are many choices out there for them to consider. So I guess part of enterprising is also knowing that a lot of ideas can be, a lot of opportunities or a lot of ideas can actually be realized if there is someone who is there to kind of lead you towards that particular direction. And I guess we all need this kind of people in our lives, right? To poke us, to persuade us, to influence us to do certain things that we have been holding back.
They're like the sheepdog that lead the sheep to a certain place. And I think sometimes we need that in our lives.
Yeah, someone to kind of push us along and to give us that wisdom or the encouragement to do certain things that we have been thinking for a long time about. Yeah. So, how does this whole Holland Code help you discover about yourself apart from you thinking you are all of this?
I think the Holland Code is actually overlapping with all the other personality tests I've taken before. So I've done the MBTI, Myers-Briggs type indicator. I've also done the Ocean test, the Big Five.
What's the Ocean test?
Ocean, OCEAN test. Please go take it because they test on your Big Five personality traits like openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and what was N? Neurotic.
Oh.
Yeah. So they test you on these factors, and based on that, you can kind of see that there's an overlap in these areas because there's always a side of me that's very influential and enterprising. I use my mouth a lot, especially when I'm with children. I will talk half the time. So definitely these tests talk about your different personality traits and they seem to have a common theme.
Yeah. So speaking of personality tools, right, I've also done this one on DISC. So D being dominant, I think. And then we've got I, influence. And then we've got S is steadiness, C is compliance. Okay, so dominance, influence, steadiness, and compliance. So back in primary school, even when I was much younger in secondary school, I remember doing it and I had very high scores on S and C. So steadiness and compliance, because you have got to be hardworking, you have to be consistent, you have to be careful and cautious, right? Right. But then I recently took the DISC tool again and realized that now I'm high on D and I. And I was quite shocked because I remember very vividly that when I was younger, I was intimidated by people who had high D and high I because I knew that they were opinionated, they were outspoken, they were influential.
They were like the class leaders of the
they were always in
right?
leadership positions.
Yeah, I always remember they are always the loudest.
Yeah, and for some reason I didn't really like it, and I knew that I would never probably be in the D and the I domains. But I guess work has changed me. I don't know whether it's a good or bad thing, but I now think that it might be a good thing because earlier on we did a RISEC, right? So enterprising is kind of influential, persuasive, and so I can understand why I've shifted to the I. As for D, I think in the past I was afraid to make my opinions known or make my comments known because I was afraid of what people would think of me.
Yeah.
And so even if I had opinions, I didn't say it. And I didn't like it when I didn't say it because I felt like I was shortchanging myself. And I would think as years go by, as I grew older, I felt like if I don't say it, I will feel, is that the word stifled?
Yeah, you will feel like you're a voiceless creature.
And I don't like, or rather, I wouldn't advocate for any one of us to be voiceless. Or even, okay, the very fact that you have an opinion, you should say it. You shouldn't be holding back just because you're afraid of certain things, because you never know, your ideas could actually be excellent ideas, but if you don't say it, no one will know that that idea is actually a good one.
Someone could be thinking the same thing as you.
Yeah, just that no one has really said it, and that's a pity. It's a pity because that's a wasted opportunity.
Right.
Yeah, and so I guess I am happy to accept the fact that I am high D and high I now, even though there are some people who might not like it. But I also feel like in terms of how we have been developing our skills and interests, and all these personality tools have actually helped us to gain a better understanding of ourselves.
And I think, speaking about purpose, right, I think if you are lost in life, sometimes a personality test can guide you, because it tells you what sort of person you are and where you shine in. So if you're, for example, someone who can speak well and talk a lot, then you work well in a people setting group. And that kind of gives you an idea as to where you should be working and with whom you should be working with. So if you're lost in life and you feel directionless, take one of these personality tests, and some of them are free. You just spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes doing one test, and they will send you a result that might give you an idea as to where you're going to go next in life.
Yeah, even it's not like a clear-cut way to let you know to help you discover about yourself. It's more of it gives you a guide towards what you might want to explore, especially if what you're doing now doesn't give you that joy or that energy.
Purpose.
Yeah, I think the energy is important, because we have limited energy in this world, so we want to make sure that whatever energy that we have is being channeled into the things that we enjoy doing to give us more energy, right? Because we are already lacking in energy in many aspects of our life. So,
and how many happy workers are there in the world?
Yeah.
Just think about it.
Yeah.
You just pass by people on the train and you see that their faces are all
tired, stressed out.
Yeah, and I think we need the reverse. We need more happy faces and smiles.
I think happiness is not a goal, but I feel like it's a state of mind. You don't have to be happy every day.
Yeah.
I think for me, instead of using the word happiness, I'll choose contentment over happiness. Of course, all of us want to be contented with life and all, but there will never be enough. So what is enough is for us to define ourselves. Yeah. So with that, we are happy to share with you more personality tools, but I think it'll be quite interesting to talk about our MBTI in the next podcast, right?
Definitely. I would love to share with you my MBTI.
Yeah. Also because in Korea, Joyce mentioned that
it's very popular.
Because of what?
Dating.
But why would they choose? Why would it be popular in dating?
I think it's because you want to find out whether the other personality is right for you. The other person has the same character or different type of personality would click with yours. You want someone who thinks like you on the same wavelength and someone who can vibe, so that things would be done easily. Like how we do it on a podcast. It's like we've got similar wavelengths, don't we?
Yeah. Okay. So stay tuned.
See you.